Welcome to the Instagram Stories for Tuesday, September 3rd. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. We are going to do the Mosseri Monday that we would normally have done yesterday, but first we have to talk about some Instagram news that's actually really big. Instagram has just launched the ability to have story comments. Here's what this means. When you make a story, someone can comment on it and other people can see that comment and a conversation can begin. Story comments are all about giving you a way to spark conversations inside Instagram stories. So let's talk about how it actually works. Anyone who can see your story can see story comments, but by default, only followers that you follow back can leave comments. And you can change that setting. You can say everyone who follows you can leave a comment, or you can turn off comments for individual stories, or you can turn off comments for all stories if you don't like that concept at all. If you want to check if you have this feature, make sure your Instagram app is updated. I think the people whose stories you want to comment on would also need to have their Instagram apps updated as well. So you might not be seeing it on some of your friends' accounts just yet. Before we dive into Adam Mosseri's clips, let's just talk about a clip that was on the Instagram @creators account from Chiru Weinstein. If you're not familiar with Chiro, she is a creator marketing manager at Instagram. She's been there for about 5 years, and she shared on the @creators account what to do if you feel like you're not getting the reach that you should and what might explain that. There are no new concepts here that I haven't talked about on the show many times before, but I think it is good to hear it again.
Hi, I'm Shiro and I work at Instagram. If you're wondering why all your followers don't always see your posts, this video is for you. Now, there are many factors that go into how people see content from accounts they follow. First, when people open Instagram, content they see in their feed from accounts they follow is typically shared within the past 3 days. Not all of your followers will open Instagram in a given week, so a significant percentage of them may not catch the post you shared. Second, when your followers do visit Instagram, they may only have time to look at a handful of posts. For each of your followers, your posts compete with many others in their feeds. Now, you might be wondering then how we determine the order of posts we do show. Our ranking system, or algorithms, predict how much each of your followers will engage with your content, compared to other content we believe they'll be interested in, through actions we call signals, such as liking, sharing, or commenting. Depending on how your posts are ranked for each of your followers, some could end up seeing higher ranked content during their time on Instagram, and this can ebb and flow the more they engage with your content. Because people have multiple ways of enjoying content, some of your followers might, for example, navigate away from their follower feeds and into Reels. This, among other types of behavior, may also cause some of your followers to not always catch your posts when visiting Instagram. So while there isn't a single silver bullet to reach more of your followers, you could try posting when your followers are most active. You can find this info in Follower Insights via Professional Dashboard.
Hopefully you found that helpful. Nothing earth-shattering, but it is always good to hear these good reminders. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive into the clips from the head of Instagram, so stay tuned. And we are back. Let's dive into the question and answer portion of today's show, and we're going to start with a question about using audio on Instagram. If you are to make a reel on Instagram, you might think about adding audio, and you should. If you were going to post a photo on Instagram, would you add audio? You might not necessarily do it, but there are reasons why adding audio to a photo can actually help you. Here's the head of Instagram explaining why it's so important to add audio to all the content that you make on Instagram.
Why should you use audio when you post reels or even photos and carousels on Instagram? I talk about this a lot, so I figured I would quickly explain why it helps with engagement. The first is the big one, which just makes your content more engaging. When it's more immersive when audio is on, and about half the time people have audio turned on when they use Instagram, you're more likely to get someone's attention. And that'll help in terms of getting more likes, comments, and therefore more reach. The second is, for Reels specifically, you get to be on the audio page. And a lot of people go to audio pages to look for inspiration, and then they might see your reel, which might also help, again, with reach. Just a way to get your content in front of more people more quickly. Try it out, see if it works. See you all soon. Peace.
Okay, let's go on to the next question. Would love to add photos to carousels after posting. I could see why someone would want to add a photo to a carousel after they've posted it. Instagram doesn't have that ability, but it would make sense to add it.
That is a good request. We get that one a lot. You can delete a photo in a carousel after you add it, but you can't add one retroactively. Something that we're exploring.
The next question. My friend's account was hacked. What should he do? Well, first, you should always be using two-factor authentication. If you're not, go turn it on right now. Second, if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that if you get hacked or someone you know, the best thing to do is go to Instagram.com/hacked.
Please go to Instagram.com/hacked and follow the instructions, and hopefully we can get your friend sorted.
And the last question we're going to talk about today, give us tips on how to gain followers. Adam Mosseri says the same thing he always says, which is that there's no magic bullet and try experimenting.
No silver bullets. The key thing is to be thoughtful about what you want to get out of the platform. Are you trying to just build an audience? Or are you trying to sell something specific? Are you trying to evangelize a cause? And then experiment with different ways to try to pursue that goal that resonate with your followers and will help you gain followers. And so I would just keep trying until you find patterns that work and double down on what works. And I would also take a look at your unconnected reach, so the amount of non-followers that see your posts, because that is going to be a leading indicator of your follower growth over time.
Okay, that is going to do it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening. If you have not left a review of the show, you can go leave a review by following the link that's in the show notes. That will take you over to Apple Podcasts. That is the best place to leave a review, and I would really appreciate it. Be sure to come back next time for more social media news, strategy, and other things that I need you to know.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager, but do not have a bachelor's degree. But actually, that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the Gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work, without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish, unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that, there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.